Alright guys, welcome back, Ohio Trapper. I want to do a video on some things that I've made for my trap line for very little money that's helped me out a lot over the years. And you know, trapping's expensive. Trapping's a very expensive hobby, so I think the more that you can make yourself to save a little bit of money, and then you can use that money to go buy traps, go buy, you know, modification parts, whatever you want to do with it. But there are things that you're going to need on the trap line that just cost a lot of money. And for the new beginner, they may not want to do that. So before I get started, I want to give a huge shout out to Half Pace Outdoors in Homestead. I was on his live last night, and those guys out there, awesome people. Huge shout out to him. And Geo Bushcraft and Outdoors, huge shout out to you for introducing me to Half Pace Outdoors. Caribou Outdoors, all you guys helped me out with my channel tremendously in the last few days, and I really appreciate that. But with that said, let's get started on this. I have made my own trapping basket, which I think those go for upwards of $100. I have $10 in this thing. I've made my own stake puller out of spare parts. It was absolutely free. And I made my own catch pole for $10 and some cable, you know, about $10. So these three things that I want to show you here, we'll go over them, how I made them. Some of them were YouTube ideas, some of them were just me screwing around with the welders. So, but let's get started here. I'll show you. Let's go with the pack basket first. This is my pack basket, guys. It's a trash can. I got this trash can at Dollar General. I don't know, 15 gallons, something like that. And I used a ratchet strap for the shoulder. This thing's super durable. This thing's fallen out of the back of my truck. This thing, I've walked a lot of miles with this thing on my back, full of stakes, you name it, I've had it in this thing. Really simple. You just need a knife of some sort, a strap of some sort. This is just a big ratchet strap, and a couple bolts. You know, see, I just made slits and I wove the ratchet strap in there, and on the back you can see the bolt that goes there and holds the shoulder strap on the top, bolt through, and on the bottom they come together, and I put a bolt there and I drilled holes for water drainage. Makes a great pack basket, guys. This thing is super tough, and like I said, I've got $10 in this, maybe. This is it fits good. Let me get it here. You're gonna have to mess with the straps to your length. See, it fits me. It fits just fine. I like it up on right behind my head, so I got my straps a little tight. But huge improvement to my trapping early on. So yeah, that's I mean, this thing, it carries well. The only thing I don't like about it is there's that bolt in the bottom. Maybe use instead of a nut like this, a big-headed bolt, maybe use a carriage bolt, something flat, because this thing likes to teeter on that. But once it's heavy, you know, the bottom will flex in and it'll sit flat on the ground. But that's my pack basket, guys. That's huge. It took me an hour to make, tops. I think that was a YouTube idea. I'm not sure. I've had this thing for a few years. My stake puller is quite literally a hunk of steel. It is 1.5 inch angle. I got this out of a scrap metal bin in a shop. 1.5 inch angle and some 4-inch tube. Welded that to it. Took a chain link, welded this, and then I have a piece of chain with 2 D-rings. You know, some spare D-rings. I use this one. And all I do is I dig down in the ground. This is flat. Actually, let me show you here. Whew, man, it's chilly. So all I do is I put this on the ground and I use this part. I reach down and I get the top of my anchor, the top of my cable goes in the D-ring. I just loosen it up, grab the earth anchor, tighten the D-ring back up, and I have plenty of leverage. And I lift up on it, and it pulls it right out of the ground. Super simple idea, guys. I have nothing in this. I had the chain. What's a D-ring? 50 cents. If you know somebody with a welder, you can make one of these. It's not super heavy. It's not something you're going to lug around with you either. You know, this is, weight's really not an issue. Durability. Don't use flat iron. You can see I've used this thing a bunch. It's got a small bend in it. Don't use a flat stock on the top for the main body of this. Use something with an angle on it so it's a little bit more sturdy. Okay, and my catch pole, actually. I made this a couple years back. It's just a piece of PVC is all it is, and a cable. You can use the coated cable if you want. I didn't. This is just 3 30-second 7x7 aircraft. Same stuff I use out of my snares with. This might be 1/8 inch, but I don't believe it is. All I did is I took a piece, cut it off, stop button there, just so it, and I run it in, and it comes out, and I drill the hole in the end of this. I feed the stop end with the stop button and a washer, right there. So, and it works. Now the only downfall to this, it does not, there's people use a clothesline thing in here, whatever, but it's just as easy for me when I release canines only with this. I don't use a catch pole for a coon. I just step on them and release them. Fox, I'm not doing that. You may, I'm not. But I've released a lot of fox with this, and you quite literally you pull it up, and then, they're not heavy animals, so I can just grab this with one hand like that. Usually it's, my right hand, and then, their head's in the other end, and they can't pull that back through because you got a bind on it here. And I'll lift them up. Usually I'll pick it up and I'll use my feet on the levers to release them, and then I'll launch them off with this. Super simple to make. Like I said, I've got I don't even know what this is. Schedule 41 inch PVC. That's what it is. 5 feet of it. What's that? $10 maybe? Maybe $10. Now I have another one. This is this is the fancy whatever catch pole. It's got the lock on it. You can buy these. I bought this at Cabela's. Yeah, it's super heavy duty. You can release a wolf with this thing. It's got the flat thing so don't choke them out. But I think this is like $35-40. So it's just, whatever you want to do. But just making this kind of stuff yourself will save you a couple $100, guys. A lot of you guys starting out, a couple $100 to buy you your traps and your bait so you can actually go trapping. If you have this stuff laying around, or your grandpa's garage or something has, make it. It's a trip to your local hardware store. You can buy all of this stuff for less than $50 and make all of it. So yeah, I wanted to cover that because I get a lot of guys ask me, how do I save money trapping? Well, trapping's expensive, guys. It's really expensive. I've got thousands of dollars wrapped up in this stuff. So over time, you'll get there. And this catch pole was just me spending money. I really didn't need it. That other one works out great. But I got the boys on the line with me now, and I want something that they can actually grab a hold of a coyote if they need to. They can handle the animal better with a locking handle. So that's something to keep in mind. Something else I want to talk to you guys about. I used to run my line on foot up until this last year. I have the best woman in the world, and she bought me a little quad to run my line on for my birthday, which is awesome. It's a Honda 250 Recon. The thing does everything I need it to do. I don't need a big 400, 500. Now I'd love to have a side-by-side, don't get me wrong. It's just out of my budget right now for a while. But this little thing here, you know, it's a utility, Recon size. Well, let me show you guys. See, it's a little 250 Honda Recon. And what I did, the reason I'm including this in this video is these racks. It's just a utility rack on the front and the back. It's a two-wheel drive four-wheeler. For a 250, it handles the weight great. I'm not going to go spend the money on the racks, the big metal racks and stuff that go on the front and the back of these things. I found these egg crates in the woods. Some zip strips, and I'm good. I can put 4 or 5 dozen traps, all my baits and lures, everything. I can run a line on this four-wheeler just like that. I don't have an issue with it. All my animals, they go behind me or right up here. All my coon, you know, I might have this full of coon or that full of coon, but usually all my traps are in the bigger baskets. So there you go, guys. That's some things you can do to save some money on the trap line. New trappers, if you stick with this, you know, don't let your first season having low catches or, you know, that coyote that keeps setting your trap off. Don't let it get to you, because when you start catching and you learn yourself a little bit, it's a passion that'll never go away, I promise. It is an expensive hobby, so little tips and tricks, look around. I'm sure there's plenty of other pages and stuff that have things that they've made to make their life easier on the line and save money. So I hope this helps you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the page if you want. If you learned something, great. Let me know. You know, tell me what you've made, whether it be something for hunting, fishing, trapping, whatever. That would be awesome. So, till next time, guys. Thanks.